Happy Vlogmas. We're getting very near the end now.
22 now?
Yeah, it is, yes. And
we hope you're feeling festive, like
Yeah.
it's getting closer towards Christmas. We hope it's not too panicked for you.
Yes.
We're not panicked, are we?
No,
We're
feeling
smug
very
and
relaxed,
done.
very smug about it. Yes, very smug indeed. So what we thought we'd do today, because we don't have any specific plans today.
Yeah.
And we're both doing some online courses at the moment, just to help us up our game with a couple of things in relation to the business. So that's just a lot of time with us spent with our heads down and making lots of notes, and it doesn't make for very interesting Vlogmas. But what we thought we would do today is just to have a quick roundup, because we've done so many awesome things this month.
We have,
and it just might be quite nice to kind of talk through some of our favourites.
Yes.
So we just thought we'd sit on the floor in front of Nikki's Christmas tree. We've got coffee.
Coffee and a catch-up.
So it's a Vlogmas coffee catch-up today. So I hope you guys are having a nice day, or you've had a nice day.
Yes.
And that Christmas isn't too stressful for you.
Yeah.
We don't want to be too smug if it is.
No.
It's the only reason why it's not stressful for me is because I'm going to be away for Christmas. So I haven't had to worry about doing the big food shop and
anything like that,
or planning my Christmas menu, and I haven't even done what you've done and sort of prepared my Christmas table or anything like that.
No, you don't need to do it.
And for me, Christmas dinner is always such a big part of Christmas. That not having to worry about that side of it has meant significantly less work for me.
Yes.
And I could see myself being persuaded to let someone else cook me Christmas dinner every year. That would be wonderful.
Well, I don't cook Christmas dinner. My lovely husband cooks Christmas dinner, so
I get to experience Christmas dinner Nikki
style.
style.
Nikki style, feet up, fire on.
Yeah, a bit of Christmas telly.
Bit of Christmas telly.
Yeah.
Bottle of wine. Box of chocolates.
I'm in.
That's
sold.
That's what you need
sold,
to do.
Sold.
That's
to the
my
highest
Christmas,
bidder.
basically.
Yes.
So, should we start with day one?
If we can remember that far back,
Yeah.
it's a while back now, but of course I can remember it because it's absolutely one of my favourites.
Yeah.
Western Burt for their Enchanted Christmas.
It was wonderful, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. It was one of those things because, as we've said several times, and I keep going on about it because it is making me a bit sad, but obviously the kids are getting older, and it does feel different because there isn't that same sort of level of excitement that there used to be. They just seem to sort of take things in their stride a little bit more. Whereas this is the perfect thing that we could do with them as older kids.
Yeah.
Between that and the village fireworks night that we had back at the beginning of November, it made me realise that our kids are now the perfect age that if you let them run around in the dark with their mates, they couldn't be happier. So that's what Western Burt allowed us to do, and to see some lovely.
But also, I think it made them feel like
Christmassy.
little kids again, a little bit. You know, they were excited, and they loved running around, and they loved experiencing it together.
Yeah.
And I think they felt a bit like Christmas was finally coming, and it was, all of that kind of stuff.
It was a good thing
was
to get us
lovely.
all into the festive spirit, wasn't it?
It
It
was
was the
brilliant.
perfect way to launch it, and I'd be more than happy to do exactly the same next year. To be honest,
absolutely.
I don't know if that'd be boring for you guys, but it was really lovely. Yeah.
And what gift did we have that day? It was my wonderful laces, wasn't it?
I gave you your shoelaces, and I think that could be your number one gift for the whole of Vlogmas.
Yes,
to be honest,
probably
one of the cheapest ones.
Yes.
And just you've worn them. They're still in your boots.
Still in my boots. I'm not taking them out
most
of the boots
days.
at all. And because I love the boots, and they're now coming into their own with the fact that it's colder and it's really wet. So Doc Martens are perfect for this kind of weather.
Yeah.
And I wear them every day, and they've got my laces in them still. So I love them. Day 2. We did some Christmas jumper shopping.
We did, and we're not wearing them now. We should be, really.
I'm saving them for the last day. I'm going to wear mine on the last day.
I was going to do the same.
Yay.
But also, I'm going to definitely wear mine over actual Christmas.
Yes.
So I may even wear it on Christmas Day.
Yeah.
But I'm just going to take it away with me, and it's going to get lots of wear over that week.
Lovely. And that was a lovely one because we ended up not buying kind of novelty jumpers this year. We bought glamorous jumpers. So we bought ones with a bit of glitz and a bit of glamour.
Yeah.
So I don't think they're particularly overly Christmassy.
No, they're not, and that's what I liked about them. I know a lot of people are much more aware of sustainable fashion these days, and that's great, but you still want to be able to get into the festive season.
Yeah.
And for me, having a new Christmas jumper is part of that.
Yeah.
but we've made the mistake, well, not necessarily a mistake, but we've learned that in previous years, if you've bought a jumper that's got a Rudolph or a Santa or something on the front of it, then you're not going to wear it until next Christmas.
No, I do wear them often in December.
Yes.
So I don't wait until just Christmas Day.
No, of course
They'll
not.
get 5 or 6 wears prior to Christmas.
Yeah, but then by getting just sparkly ones,
I can wear it in January.
I can wear it. Well, I can wear it any time in the winter where I want to dress up a little bit or be a bit fancy, but still be really comfy because I've got a jumper on.
And warm. My jumper's really warm, so I'm really happy with that.
And mine, which I was really worried at the time about how static it was going to be, it turns out that it's not the jumper, it's me.
Okay.
Everything is static on me at the moment. So even this jumper at the moment, I can make it do crackles and stuff just by, flicking it around. It is just me. And it's happening with all my pleated skirts as well. They're getting stuck to my legs.
It'll be the damp weather. It'll be that this is kind of creating this static
although from what I've learned about it, some people, you kind of go through phases without even really realising it, where your body's generating more static than it is at other times.
Do you remember when I was getting static shocks off my car? So, and that's gone now. Yeah. So I went through a period in the summer where for about 2 or 3 months, every time I touched the car, I was getting this massive electric shock.
Someone did also say to me that an increase in static can also be another perimenopause symptom. But I'm just feeling like at the moment, everything that happens, I'm going, it's the menopause,
it's the menopause.
And
that bus didn't arrive, it's the menopause.
So sooner or later, you've just got to stop blaming everything on the big M and just accept that it's normal. So on that day, I got a gift.
You
did? Racking my brain.
It was your lovely candle.
Oh yes, and that does smell amazing.
Yeah.
And I get
mint and rosemary. Lemon and rosemary.
Lemon and cinnamon.
Lemon and cinnamon. I couldn't.
And it's beautiful. And the thing is as well, I get really fussy about candles and it's really hard to tell because when you buy them in the shop and you smell them, they smell amazing. But I've had lots of candles that when you light them, they don't actually smell that strong. And I love proper fill the house.
Yes.
Smell.
Yeah, me too.
And that, even there's a tiny little candle, has got the most beautiful smell. It's nearly gone.
Is it?
I've been using it. It's only a little one. I've been using it a lot.
Oh well, that's good. I'm glad.
But what I've done is I'm going to keep the little lid so that I know the brand.
Okay.
And that way I know now that that's another brand where if you buy a candle, it's going to smell fantastic when it's lit, not just when you smell it. So
it was from TK.
I thought it might be.
Yes.
Oh, look out there. I'm there. Well, you can point it out.
I'll point them out, yeah. You know what they're like.
Yes, exactly. So
then,
day 3,
we...
it was coat making assistance time.
Yes,
I was heading off to Sarah's for some food.
Yes.
And she was cooking a lovely meal for us. And you wanted to finish 2 of your winter coats.
Yes.
So I came over and gave you a bit of help. We did you just a very quick, very down and dirty tutorial on how to hem a sleeve.
Yeah.
And then
now they're both done.
They're both done, and you've been wearing them loads.
We're wearing both of them loads. I love the red one. The red one makes me feel like Mrs. Claus every time I put it on.
Yeah.
Because it's so festive.
It is.
But it's still they're really different, the 2 coats. So the red one is really smart, and I think it's because that plain colour and just the heaviness of the wool makes it feel like a proper. Like a smart coat, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, it does.
And then the black and white one, because it's more fluffy, and that is really warm. I mean, it's really heavy and really warm, but it's a little bit more casual to me.
Yeah.
If that makes any
Yeah,
sense.
it
Because
does.
it's a bit softer, it's a bit snugglier, but I love both of them.
Yeah, I haven't actually worn my zebra print version
No,
of
you
yours
haven't.
at all this winter, and it's because I've lost a little bit of weight, but not so much that it's drastic or anything.
No.
But for some reason, what felt like an okay level of oversize last year just feels humongous. And what it is it's got such a big front on it.
Yes.
And so what I feel like I need to do is to bring it in at the back. And I wish that I had more fabric so that I could make a belt for it and some belt loops. Because then what I would do, instead of tying it, I would just tie the belt at the back and just kind of bring it in slightly. Because I like oversized coats like that you wear open and you can see the outfit on underneath.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where I think I might, because it's so long, at some point I think I might lop a bit off of the bottom to turn that into a belt. But obviously I haven't got around to that this winter, so it hasn't been worn yet. I've tried it on loads of times and each time I've just gone, it's not quite right.
The other thing you could do, if you're taking the lining, like opening the lining up, you could actually shorten the collar. so you could make that narrower. So because that would be a fairly easy thing
it would actually. I could just go in through the lining, and I could literally just pick a point and just all the way down,
take
because
like
we
an inch
straightened
off it.
that front edge off and squared it off, so it's a right angle. So I could decide that's a really good idea. Good one, that
Boom!
one. We probably should have said 10 minutes in, we've only discussed 3 days of Vlogmas. So this is going to be a really, really long video. This isn't going to be one of the short ones that we've been doing up until now. This is like, you know, leave it running in the background whilst you're sewing or whatever you're up to. Or if you're not into a long one, then you can just go and watch any number of the short ones that are available.
Yeah, save it for another day.
Yes, but we're just warning you now, we're not really going to edit this. It's just us chatting. If you're into that, great. If you're not, then go and find something. Oh, we're out doing something. And not just waffling on for ages. Yes.
What was the present that day? Oh, there was my lovely EPP book that you gave me, my colouring in book.
Your colouring in, where you can imagine quilts.
Yes. And I haven't done that yet, but
That's
I'm imagining that it's going to be something that I do once we break up. So there's going to be an afternoon where I just fancy doing it, or Dylan's got his colouring pens or something out, and I'll get my book out and I'm going to join him.
But it's the sort of thing you can do when you've got a Christmas movie on or something like that, because you're not really having to pay attention to either thing. It's just kind of mindfulness, isn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah, just a little bit of.
So I'm very much looking forward to that.
Yes. Oh, good. I'm pleased. So
day 4.
Day 4 was just a work day, really, wasn't it? So we've been doing a lot of planning for the last few months, and this was a day where we had a lot of stuff that we needed to get done.
We did.
So we took you with us when we had our normal weekly meeting, and then we came back here.
For coffee.
Yes, that's right. And we came back here and we lit a fire, and then we carried on with our planning. So it wasn't anything particularly exciting.
No.
But not every day can be exciting, because we are trying to run a business at the same time as doing Vlogmas and stuff.
And
so sometimes you just have to kind of put the fun on hold and get some real work done. And that was one of those days. And that day you bought me for my advent that lovely Beauty Pie lipstick.
Have you worn that
I
much?
have worn it quite a lot, yes.
Have you?
Yes, I have. It's the second most worn lipstick.
Oh.
So I love how smoothly it goes on.
Yes.
But it also comes off easier than some of my other matte lipsticks.
Yes.
So at my husband's request, I haven't been wearing it when I'm planning on kissing him. But if it's just me, then I'll wear it.
Fine,
yes, but I love the colour of red. It's perfect, sort of mid-shade of red. So
excellent.
Really lovely.
What was day 5?
We went to the Bath Christmas market.
Oh, we did. Which is our tradition. There's not Christmas until we've done that, is it? And we just love Bath. It's such a beautiful city.
It is.
And it's really festive at Christmas time. And the market itself is getting bigger every year. So you can see how it's evolving and becoming like really sort of like worldwide popular.
Yeah,
and
it is. You get people travelling from, you know, coming in on big coaches and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
The
all the hotel rooms are booked for the whole of the market
parking
time.
is a nightmare, but luckily there's a park and ride really close to us. So it only takes us sort of 10-15 minutes to get to the park.
We get to go on the bus.
Get to go on the bus, and it's really lovely. We get to have like a bit of mulled wine or a mince pie or whatever else. In fact, we had a Wagamama's that day, didn't we?
We did.
You were craving Wagamama's.
Yeah, I love
Wagamama's. Yeah, me too. So we went and had a Wagamama's that day.
Yeah.
And I gave you.
What did you give me?
A key ring.
Oh, it was Thor's mighty hammer.
Yes. And has it been given a home?
It has. It's on the back door keys, which didn't have a key ring on them.
Oh, brilliant.
They now have it, and literally every time I lift the keys, because it's quite a heavy key ring, I think of you. I think of Thor's mighty hammer.
Excellent. What's the name of the hammer again?
Mjolnir.
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 But you can call it Mew Mew if you
I'll
want.
call it Mew Mew.
Mew Mew. No, you just have to go Mew Mew, blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, and then that's Thor's mighty hammer.
Excellent. I would have thought it would have like a more grand name.
Well, I
like
think
Smasher.
But, well, that's the Scandinavian. It's in like whatever language they speak in Thorland.
Thor language.
Day 6.
Day
we did
6.
Some actual sewing.
We did. Yes, we finally got our Minerva dresses sewn. So we both sewed McCall's 7993, which is a jumper dress, and Vogue. Oh no, I'm going to let you down now. I think it might be 6784, but I don't actually know for sure. Anyway, they are both in a pile in my sewing room, still waiting to be hemmed on the cover stitch, I'm afraid.
My stripy one is finished.
Yeah.
Because I put a band on the bottom, so it didn't need hemming. So it's in my wardrobe.
Yeah, I have to say that I have done an incredibly little amount of sewing this Christmas. Probably the least I've ever done. But actually, it's probably a good time to explain, because we get people asking this a lot sometimes, and people say, you know, I'm surprised you don't wear more me made, or you haven't done more sewing recently. And the thing is that since we started our online classes, the fact is that we do have less time, and we are actually trying to make a living from that, which means that, you know, we don't just get to sew for fun all the time, and it makes us realise how lucky we were when we got to do that. But I'm sure that's the case for most of you. You have to fit your sewing in around everything else. And just because you kind of made a name on social media through sharing your me mades doesn't mean that you should then feel under pressure to constantly be making. I for one post, or even on my personal Instagram, I repost the same outfits a lot of the time. I often put them together in a different way, but I wear the same things. And part of that is a conscious decision, and making less is also a conscious decision, because we're both much more aware these days of the impact that our sewing has. And I think that in the past we've been guilty, as lots of us are, of just, you know, shiny, new pattern, new fabric, just wanting to make all the things. And I think these days we're much more fussy about what are we actually going to wear? Are we going to get enough wear out of it? Can we justify making it? And it's not about an expense thing as much as it is about us not wanting to end up with a wardrobe full of clothes, especially me-made clothes.
That you just don't get enough wear. No, and I for one have, you know, I've got a very large wardrobe. And I don't need any more things.
And you've been shopping a lot more second-hand.
So I've been enjoying the thrill of thrifting and enjoying that.
It's a new thing for you,
because it's a new thing for me.
And like everything Nikki does when it's new, she's like
goes to
full
excess.
throttle.
Sorry, I just need to bring my knee round.
Which just makes me jealous, because she's constantly showing me the things that have arrived from eBay, and I'm like, I love it.
But even now, like, I have stopped. Like the last 2 or 3 weeks since we've kind of gotten into December, I haven't really been shopping. I haven't really bought myself anything.
December you end up shopping for everyone else.
Exactly. I bought myself a scarf. That was it. So I'm not really, but I know, I'm very aware of the fact that I don't need any more in my wardrobe. So the main things I've made this winter have been my 2 coats. So, and one was from last year that I was finishing off. But those are the kind of things for me. I know I'm going to wear them a lot.
Yeah, exactly. And actually, most of my making this year has been outerwear as well. And I just have found that they're the things that I do get the most wear out of, because, you know, you can wear whatever you want underneath.
In this country, you always need coats and
jackets. Coats and jackets come in really handy, and you do get a lot of wear out of them. So that doesn't mean to say that we haven't got lots more plans for making. Of course we do, but we just consider things a lot more carefully now. And we're not saying that to shame anyone. We've all been in that place where you're just enjoying that creative outlet, and you're just enjoying the making process so much that you can't help yourself just making more and more stuff. And that's totally fine. We've been there, but we've now kind of got to a point in our making journey where we can afford to be a little bit more selective, and we choose to be a little bit more selective. But we're not saying that everyone else should be.
But we have so much less time. That's the thing. So I find, because I mean, what we do is full time. So we do 5 days a week, as many hours a day, and because it's our business and it's 24 hours, very often we're working at odd hours. We're working at 10, 11 o'clock at night, and we're not necessarily doing a working day. We do this kind of, it's all the time. And so the weekends tend to be
family time.
So I
all
tend
the things
to
you didn't get time to do in the week. Shopping, food shopping, cleaning, you know.
And just turning off. And I for one, definitely find that I need to, sewing isn't something that I'm doing to switch off now. No. Necessarily. I have to be in the mood to do it, because I think because it's so much part of what we're doing all the time and for the business, that I feel like it's kind of just maybe a little bit too much like that, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, and if I can say something probably a little bit controversial, I do think that there can be a little bit too much judgment in the sewing community for people who don't always wear me made, who don't constantly make new things, and I think that the reality is that we've all got busy lives, we've all got different things going on. We all go through phases of being totally in love with sewing and then slightly losing our sojo, and I think that in those situations we all just need to be even more supportive of each other, because we all find it back eventually. It's just that you go through these peaks and troughs and whatever else, and if you found kind of solace in the sewing community, as we all have, you shouldn't then feel like because you haven't got anything new to share that no one's interested in you anymore, because
or that you're not relevant.
Yeah, exactly. Because I don't think it's just about, you're not just as relevant as your latest make. You're a person, you've got a lot more to you than just the last thing that came off your sewing machine.
Yeah.
And you shouldn't feel like without having something new to share, you're not interesting, because we still are interested in other people's lives outside of sewing.
Yeah.
And we hope that you are for ours, but if you're not, that's what the unsubscribe button is for, you know? It's like, obviously we don't want people to unsubscribe, but if we're doing too much stuff that's not actually physically sewing, or we're not showing you enough new outfits or new pattern reviews and whatever, then we totally understand that, you know, there might be other channels that are doing more of that for you.
Yeah.
We'll get back to it, and we've got lots more plans for it. We're still the Stitch Sisters, that's not changing.
No.
But, you know, I think we should all be more supportive of each other in 2020, don't you think?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Anyway, back to Vlogmas.
That was a bit of a tangent.
Sorry. We did say it was going to be a long waffly one.
Bristol Blue Glass.
Oh, that was so much fun.
Yes.
Yes.
That was
so
lovely. They were so lovely to us.
Yeah.
And it was really great. I've never been so hot in my entire life as to walking into that.
We walked in with coats and hats and gloves and things.
And we were like stripping.
And made the mistake of starting filming before we'd taken any of that stuff off.
Yeah.
So halfway through, I had to say to Nikki, I had to kind of signal her over without speaking and just say, can you hold the camera, because I need to take my coat off. I'm melting under here.
And your bauble is beautiful.
It is beautiful.
Pride of place on your tray.
Yeah, exactly. And I have to say that it's made me think. I haven't bought any new Christmas decorations for a long time, and it's made me think that what I want to do is have a whole new colourful scheme for next year. I don't mean colourful like you've gone for lots of rainbow and stuff, but I like that blue, and I just think that balanced with some hot pink. And maybe a couple of other, maybe like a turquoise or something, might be really nice. So the reason why I'm mentioning that now is because loads of people take decorations to the charity shops after Christmas. So it'd be a good time in January for me to go and snap up some
nice
bargains.
ones. Yeah, absolutely.
And
if you see
ready,
any
ready
rainbow
for
ones,
next year.
Get them for me.
I will, don't you worry.
And you gave me my lovely rainbow stripy socks that day.
Did,
that was our advent gift.
Yes. Yeah, anything rainbows is a safe bet for me. Yeah.
Rainbows and superheroes, I'm in. I'm easy.
I'm going to get you a t-shirt that says that. Rainbows and superheroes, I'm in.
And then the next day we were going out to dinner, and we did the very brave thing of letting you win on us getting ready together.
That was another long one.
Yeah.
And we ummed and ahed about whether we should include all of that. And actually, believe it or not, it was quite heavily edited. If we'd have just left it running, then it would have been well over an hour long. But luckily for us, as vulnerable as we felt doing it, you were really
wonderful.
Lovely, and said it was. We got lots of lovely comments from people saying how nice it was to see that we were just normal. That we're not using fancy products. That most of what we use is budget stuff. We don't have all these fancy techniques. We don't make ourselves up to the nines. It's just a little bit. And yeah, we were really pleased that you guys liked that.
And we were really interested in, and we've gotten ready together a lot of times, but of course you're concentrating on yourself, you're not watching what someone else is doing.
Yeah.
And we were fascinated by the fact that we do it so differently.
Yeah.
And that was something that was really interesting.
Even like the order that we do it in. So I do my whole face, like bronzer, blusher, all of that, then I'll move on to my eyes. Whereas you do your base foundation stuff, then you move on to your eyes, then you come back to the bronzer and blusher. And and it's just little things like that. The fact that you can't live without your eyelash curlers, and I never use them, and my eyelashes are just as straight as yours naturally. I just never use them.
Wow,
so
you say.
It's just funny how we all have these different things. What have I got on my hands that's so tasty?
Just Rachel knows.
Trying to eat me.
And I gave you your and other stories. Thrifty's handbag.
Oh, I love that bag. I've worn it loads, and it's so great. I really love it, and yeah, I mean, it's just such a fun. The combinations of the different colour snake print, with the tan suede. It's It's really lovely. I love a statement handbag.
Yeah, and I just knew it was. I knew it was right up Rachel Street the minute I saw it.
Yes, and I've worn it loads, so thank you for that. And then the next day,
we went to the vintage market.
We did,
in Chippensodbury, which is our local village, or local
town. Market town, yeah.
And it's always a lovely, lovely little event.
Literally, you think I was covered in bacon grease.
Yeah,
I'm not. I promise I'm not.
She's
but
licking
she's like
Rachel.
literally. She's like she's going to bite me in a minute. She's just literally
trying to eat her.
licking me to death.
And we
got moisturiser on my hands.
We had a lovely walk around the market, and then we got together in the evening, didn't we? We had a few.
Yes, a change of plan because we ended up watching the boxing. We were going to take the kids down to the Victorian night, but thanks. But we didn't. We didn't explain that in much detail at the time. But basically, when we got there, we realised that it was just lots of food stalls and lots of kind of fairground rides that weren't at the right age for our kids, and it was just lots of sort of hooker dark and that sort of thing, and
expensive hot dogs and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And to be completely honest, we knew that we'd spend half an hour there. It would cost us a fortune with the 4 kids in tow. And it just seemed like a bit of a waste of money, if I'm completely honest. So we decided
to go to the pub instead.
and then to watch the boxing.
Yes.
So we watched the boxing.
Yes, we did.
And the kids joined us and watched it too, and it was lovely.
We had a few drinks and I got a bit tiddly, and you gave me Captain America, and it was the
did.
best night ever. I got all my little pop figure sites and had a great fun with them all evening. Yes,
it was lovely.
The simple things in life.
And then the next day was one of my favourites. Day 10 was one of my favourites. We went to SS Great Britain.
Oh, it was lovely.
For their Victorian. They do a couple of days each year in December where it's Victorian themed, and they have this team of people called the Ragged Victorians.
That's right, yeah.
And they come in their full costumes, and we're actually really excited because SS Great Britain have invited us to come back in the new year and actually film some vlogs about costuming.
Yes.
And to kind of, because obviously the Ragged Victorians are there for Christmas, and occasionally on other events, but they have all of these mannequins there, and they have a guy who's always dressed up as Brunel there, and they have police inspectors and that sort of thing who are a permanent feature. And these costumes are very accurate, they're very true to the time, and just from a dressmaker's point of view, they thought it might be interesting for us to be able to come and inspect them in detail and learn about some of the techniques. So we hope that will be of interest to you, because we really do want to go back and do it. So let us know below if that's something you'd be interested in seeing.
We'll do it in the new year sometime.
Yeah.
And then the gift that day was I gave you earrings in the car park.
You did, yeah. Always the best place to receive any gift. My hoops
is in a multi-storey car
park. And I've worn them several times as well, and they're really
comfortable,
comfy. They're the most comfy big hoops that I've got.
Yeah, so they're really light.
Yeah, you just don't notice that you've got them in at all.
No.
I've nearly caught them a couple of times for that reason.
Okay.
But I remember when I first got my ears pierced, I know it sounds ridiculous because I've got them pierced at 42, but I was convinced that I was going to rip earrings out of my ears within like a couple of weeks. But all I found is if you accidentally catch them, you're aware of it, so you don't think, yank them out.
I've had my ears pierced since I was about 12, and I've never yanked an earring out of my head. I've had them fall out because the back wasn't on properly and stuff, but I have never pulled one out.
Well, I think the reason why it's probably an irrational fear, but the reason why I thought that was because both my mother-in-law and my grandma, my dad's mum, both managed to rip their earrings out of their ears. So that's what made me think I'm going to do the same, but actually I haven't, and I loved those earrings.
Excellent. What do we do next?
We went to the spa. We went to Aztec West Spa, and that was really, really lovely. And we need to say a big thank you to them because that was gifted. And it was gifted to Nikki with a +1. And who else was she going to take? But it was really, really lovely to go, and we had a lovely lunch. We had a nice treatment. But just to go and sort of chill in the hot tub and the sauna, and then sort of have a chat on the lounges and whatever.
Yeah, it was just lovely.
It was really
a chilled out day.
Yeah.
And the gift that day was my lovely heated eyelash curlers.
Yes, because you'd mentioned them when you were getting ready. Macy's getting very excited and kicking the camera. You mentioned them when you were getting ready, and I straight away when I was editing it thought, right, get some of those. So yeah, that was nice.
Yes. And the next day we did our trees.
Yay, which is always one of my favourite parts of Christmas. It was a bit later for me than usual.
Yeah.
But I think that because we knew we were going to be away this Christmas, just didn't seem as much pressure to get the tree up and whatever. In fact, I didn't end up getting out most of my decorations that I'd normally get out.
No.
Because normally I decorate the whole house.
Yes.
Whereas this time I've just got the 2 trees up and then a couple of other little things, but mainly.
Yeah.
Just kept it simple. And
I kept it quite simple this year
still
as
feels
well.
very festive.
Yeah. I've got a massive box of Christmas decorations because I've got various different themes as you know, we've been married 25 years, so we've got a lot of Christmas decorations over the years.
Yeah.
And it changes every year and I add new ones in. But I've kind of gone a bit sparser this year, so the box came out and went back in looking just as full as it was when it came out. So I think I've kind of gone understated this year, but I do love it.
Yeah, well, I happened to notice your box of baubles that hadn't made it onto the tray.
Yes.
And as part of my rejig for next year, if you want to have a sort through and any that you don't think you're going to use again,
yes,
feel free to pass them
your way.
Yes.
That's fine. We can do that.
I take hand-me-downs from anyone.
Anyone, usually from me. She'll start with me and then work her way out from there.
Yes, I'm not proud. And then on that day, on tree trimming day, you gave me that lovely t-shirt with the leopard lips on it. And I wore it the very next day. I wore it, I was too hot because I was doing something in the house, I can't remember, and I had a big jumper on and I was too hot and I saw it there on the table. I was like, right, that's going on. and it was perfect. It was really lovely.
Excellent.
So I'll get a lot of wear out of that all year round because t-shirts, you can layer up and so it's a basic.
Always good.
Suited for all weathers. Yes, exactly. And then the next day, again, we had lots of work to do, so we just took an hour off to make some tree decorations, didn't we?
We did. We lit the fire, we put some Christmas music on.
Yeah.
And we did some hand sewing Christmas decorations.
We did, and I made a little bear, and I made a Christmas pudding, and
I made a Arctic fox,
yes,
and I made a holly heart.
A holly heart, yes. But I love sitting down doing a little bit of hand sewing, especially if it's something that you've done before and you know exactly how long it takes. So we knew that we could get 2 done in an hour.
Yeah,
and that was just the perfect amount of time that we had to spare that day.
Yeah,
but that was really, really nice. And I gave you that book. I don't know if you've had a chance to flick through yet. It's the menopause.
My menopause thing, I haven't. It's down by the side of my
when you
chair.
do EPP
for Christmassy
colouring
time.
in.
Yes.
Yes.
I've just not. It's been so busy. I've just not had a chance. But I know the stories are only really short, so I can dip in and out of it. But I'll let you know how that is in the new year.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. And then the day after that, I had. In fact, we both had a little bit more shopping to do. We went and bought mother-in-law gifts and a few other little bits and bobs that we needed,
locally,
didn't we?
Yes. Little shops.
Yes, and all that stuff is wrapped now, which is lovely. And I'm really excited.
And then we made mulled cider.
We did. I gave you my mulled cider recipe.
And I have made it at home myself. Yes, it's very nice.
Yes, I'm making it tonight.
Ooh.
Because I quite like to just have a pot of it on the hob all the time.
Yes.
Especially once we get this close to Christmas.
Yeah.
Because it's just nice that any time, because it gets better the longer it
does,
molds for. And you can always just top it up. I don't top it up I don't put more spices or stuff in. Sometimes I just put in a bit of extra cider. Yeah. Maybe an extra tea bag, and then if it's got a bit too concentrated, sometimes I just put a little bit of hot water in it or something.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'll refresh the citrus in it. Take the old satsumas out and put new ones in. But then it just means that if you just fancy a little glass of it, you can just turn it back on and bring it to the simmer, and then have a glass and turn it back off and come back to it later. It doesn't seem to suffer from being reheated multiple times.
No.
So that's good. So that was lovely. Yes. And that day you gave me my sip book, my gin and cocktail book. I've used it loads. I've made a gin swizzler, which is really good, which is inspired by, they used to drink it in Barbados in the 1800s. Ooh. And I can't remember, I think you make a lime syrup.
Yes.
And then it's lime syrup, a whole tall highball glass full of crushed ice, the gin, and I can't remember what the other ingredient is.
Is it orange juice or something?
No, I don't think it was. But then you use a swizzler and you put it in and you do that with your hand like they do in the cocktail bars. I quite enjoyed doing that. And then I've also made a ginger jammer.
Oh yes.
Which is where you take a jam. I use ginger jam, and you mix that with gin, and that's got a third ingredient because they've all got 2 ingredients, but I can't remember it. But then last night was my favourite. Last night I made gin espresso martinis.
Ooh.
And I always thought you needed Kahlua or some kind of coffee liqueur for that, but this recipe is for sugar syrup, gin, and espresso coffee.
Yeah.
And it's so good. So good. And Damien and I both had one each last night with an espresso and an espresso martini. And we were like, we're going to do this every night.
The great thing about that book is it's 3 ingredients, and one of them is gin.
Yeah.
So and it's only 2 other ingredients to make the cocktail.
Yes.
And that's why I thought it'd be really interesting. And lots of the ingredients are things that you would find in the store cupboard.
Yeah.
So
actually, now I've
and
been
coffee
through it properly. They're not all like that.
All right,
so there's a lot of recipes that involve specific sherries, like Pedro Jimenez sherry, and sometimes a mixture of sweet and dry vermouth. And I've only got dry and whatever. But I am planning on going to stock up on a few more bits, purely because the reason why I'm enjoying them so much is because I've been eating very healthily for the last few months, and cocktails have a lot of sugar.
Yes.
So most of these recipes involve sugar syrup, and sugar syrup is half water, half sugar.
Right.
So for instance, these espresso martinis each have a tablespoon of sugar in.
Right.
So I wouldn't normally have anywhere near that amount of sugar.
Yeah.
And so it's a treat now in the Christmas period.
Yeah.
So come January, the book will get put away for special occasions, for dinner parties and that sort of thing, or the odd weekends off and that sort of thing. So I feel like I'm having to furiously make as many of them as possible before I run out of time.
I like your favourites.
I'm going to take it with me down to Stella's, down to my in-laws, and I'm going to make everyone a few cocktails.
Oh, wonderful!
They've always got loads of gin. So.
That's brilliant. I'm glad that one's gone down really well. I thought it would.
Yeah, it's gone down brilliantly. So what's next? We went to Winter Wonderland.
Oh, the lovely number 113 Cheltenham.
Yes, 131 Cheltenham.
131, not
it's
113.
Run by a company called the Lucky Onion, and they have loads of different pubs and
in our local
places.
area.
But we particularly love 131 because it's like a fancy sort of town hotel. Yeah. And it's like a boutique hotel, but it is run like the Savoy or something. It is everything is immaculate. The service, every little detail is perfect. So when we got to go as their guests, that was a real treat because it was definitely fine dining, and it was really, really lovely. Yeah. And I just love the place, and the staff are so friendly. They are. It's a lovely restaurant, and it's a lovely hotel, and you really do feel like you're being spoiled there. But it's not fancy. It's not. They don't make you feel uncomfortable. They make you feel at home. No, it's fancy in the sense that, like I said, that everything is run immaculately, and the attention to detail is amazing. Yeah. But you're not paying 5-star hotel prices. No. We went previously and saw the rooms, and they are stunning. They are beautiful. Yes. Stunning. Yes. Just stunning. I'm just saying that. I'm just hoping I can get away for a night with the hubby at some point to do that. That would be lovely. They are beautiful with these amazing sunken baths, and bathrooms are just ridiculous. Yes. And what was the gift that day? That was for me. That was my spangle earrings. Your spangles. Yes. Your stripy rainbow heart earrings that reminded you of spangles. Yes. That was really lovely. And then next day, what did we do next? Well, it was Joe's birthday, so it was a bit of a quiet day because I had a house full of teenage boys. And so it wasn't that quiet then? Yeah, well, it was quiet on Vlogmas because it wasn't really my place to be filming all of that. And I did say to my son, do you mind if I film you a little bit for Vlogmas? Yeah. And he said, I'd rather you didn't. And I just think, you've got to respect their wishes at that age. So your Charlie wants to be on camera as much as possible. He's desperate my Joe's not to be on camera as much as possible. So he was delighted when I said we're going to make some cookies. And his little face when I said, right, you can do the introduction. Yeah. And he kind of just went, yeah. In fact, Charlie's been asking us for ages if we will give his YouTube channel a plug. And we've always said it's just not relevant, darling. But seeing as we're talking about him anyway, then if you've got children, tell them to check out The Lads of Narnia. Yes. It's very random content about boys that go and hang out in the woods, basically. Yeah. But he would absolutely love it if he had a few new subscribers. Yeah. Although they haven't posted anything for a while because it's wet and horrible and dark at the minute, but I'm sure they'll be doing it again once the spring comes. Yes. So. I remember watching one of their videos where they were walking through the woods and they were saying about how big they were going to get, and then one of them said, "Yeah, we'll be bigger than the Stitch Sisters." And I thought that's something to aspire towards, boys.
Oh, so what was the gift that day? I bought you some chocolates.
You bought me some lovely chocolates. They didn't last long.
No,
I did warn you that as soon as Damien got his sights on them, but to be honest, I think I did get half of them. I'm sure.
Well, that's
I got
good.
Half.
Yeah,
but yes,
but they were nice.
Yes, they were lovely, and they disappeared very quickly. I finished the last 2 yesterday. Actually.
Oh, well, that's not bad. That's a few days.
Well, I thought they were finished, but then I realised that he'd left me the fudge and the Turkish delight because he doesn't like those.
Oh, right, okay,
but
that was kind of it. It was very nice. What's next? So, our Christmas quiz.
Yes, that was fun.
It was just carnage. If if your kids are grown up and you miss them and they've flown the nest, then that's definitely one for you to watch, because you can reminisce for the happy days of carnage around Christmas with 4 kids in the house.
Yeah, constantly saying stuff isn't fair and just complaining about everything. And again, that was heavily edited. Because there was a lot more complaining happening that needed to come out. But for the most part, it was lots of fun.
Yes, it was.
And Joe saw me editing because obviously he won the quiz and he was crowned, and he did that thing where he started going, oh, and then they can't. And when I was editing, he saw me doing it and he went, "You haven't left that in, have you?" And I was like, "Yeah, that's you being crowned. I can't take that out." And he was like, "Oh no, I wish I hadn't done that." So
too late.
Yeah, too late. It's in. It's up.
It's up.
Not taking it down now. So yeah, that was funny.
And I got probably one of my best presents I've ever had in my life, which was Monster Munch bunting.
Yes.
I've only had one packet so far. I've been saving them.
Yeah.
So I'm only allowed them when I really deserve them.
Oh, really? When it's a real treat.
It's a real treat.
Okay. What did you do to really deserve the last pack?
I think I was just really hungry.
Okay. So to really deserve them, all you have to do is be really hungry.
I think it was the day after we came back from Bath when we hadn't had lunch.
Oh, okay.
So that's coming.
Yeah, that was the next day. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so the next day we went to a beautiful place in Bath called the Christmas Tavern. We'd been in especially because we'd seen pictures online and it just looked so beautiful.
And so Christmassy.
And we booked a table for as soon as it opened at 12.
Yeah.
And, well, you would have seen the video, but basically didn't quite go to plan.
No.
We didn't get any food. We waited for well over an hour and a half, and in the end we had to, because we were seeing food come out. So people that had arrived well after us, and we kept chasing, and they kept saying, in a second. And so it was a real disappointment because it was really beautiful, and I've still got cravings for a turkey sausage roll. It was turkey and cranberry sausage roll, like Christmas dinner in a sausage roll, and now I want them. I know. And I'm just going to have to wait till we've got leftovers from Christmas dinner
and make sausage rolls. Yeah, can you save one for me too, please? Thank you.
Absolutely. I'll make them when we have brunch. How about that?
Lovely.
Nikki's going to come and have brunch with us. Nikki's family are going to have brunch with us between Christmas and New Year because we're away for most of that week.
Yeah.
But we're around on one of the days, so they're going to come and have brunch with us, and we can play some games and have some fun and
drink some drinkies.
Yeah, drink some cocktails.
Yes. And the gift that day was my lovely scarf that you got me.
No, that was when you gave me a scarf.
I gave
first.
you a scarf.
You gave me my lovely psychedelic
I gave you your lovely scarf.
Yes. That was the 2 scarves in a row.
Yes.
So you bought me a lovely, I think it's quite Poochie inspired.
Yes.
It's got that kind of psychedelic bright colour swirls going on.
Yes.
And I haven't worn it yet.
No.
But just because it's a light scarf, so that's more probably
I think
more
it's
for
springtime.
springtime. I'm wearing lots of cosy scarves.
But then you could just put it on a bag or something.
Yeah, exactly. It's the perfect size for that. It's also perfect size for your hair. So really nice. And then the next day, you came with me to be my personal shopper.
I did.
And we finished off all of my shopping, which was fantastic. And it was really nice to finally get that done.
Yes.
And then we put your applique on your sweatshirt.
Yes, we did. Was that the same day?
Yeah, that was the same day after we got back.
Oh yeah, fabulous. It's all blending into one now. My brain's just doing that.
Yeah, we came back and we had some work to do. We did that for most of the afternoon, and then we finally did your sweatshirt.
My sweatshirt, which I was really pleased with. So, and I'm very pleased that you're all done. I feel like I've helped take the weight of Christmas off your shoulders.
You have, and I'm going to expect the same service next year. Except next year I'll be cooking Christmas dinner. In fact, next year we've actually been talking about having Christmas together, haven't we?
We have, yes.
So Christmas Day together. together.
Yeah.
So we're gradually ticking off all the lists of things that we've done together.
Been on holiday.
Been on holiday this year, next year we have Christmas together.
Yeah.
And there will literally be nothing left one day.
Then the year after we'll just buy a giant house together and just live together all the time.
In a community. Yes. A crafting community where anyone can come and join us. Come and be a stepsister.
And then what was after that? What did we do?
We made your table garland.
We made table garland, yes. Which is I'm so chuffed because it's so lovely. And I always do my table before Christmas Day, but I'm talking about like Christmas Eve. I'm not talking about like this early, but I feel like I'm ahead of the game because it's already done.
Well, I get excited every time I walk past what is usually your sewing room to what is now again your dining room, and I see the table set beautifully, and I just think, oh, Christmas! So you must feel really excited.
It's really exciting. Although that does mean that there's no sewing being done between now and the big day, but that's fine. I wasn't planning on doing it, just hand sewing and stuff like that. So time for chilling and time for putting everything away for a little bit. Yes. So I always try and do some sewing after Christmas, but kind of in those in-between days where everyone's just mulling around and doing their own thing and the kids are busy and that kind of stuff. I'll get some, I'll turn it back into a sewing room then, and I'll do some sewing.
I would have done that too, but unfortunately I won't be around for most of it. But I am thinking I might do some hand sewing or embroidery or knitting or something, because I'm going to be doing a lot of car journeys.
Take your embroidery with you.
Yeah, I could do that. Yeah. The only thing with that is I find you're changing colour a lot, so you end up needing a bit of room for all the different.
If you do the outside bit, then they're bigger ones.
Yeah,
or take your EPP.
Yeah, I haven't done any EPP for a while. Or I might just try knitting a new project or something.
You could do my knitted cardigan project. That's downstairs.
Start that. Your kit from We Are Knitters.
Yes.
Yeah. I've given up on my kit because it's just too long. But I've given it to my mother-in-law. She's going to knit it for me at some stage. Although I did say to her, if you end up knitting it and you want to keep it for yourself, you're welcome to, because I know how much work is going to go into it. But her knitting services are always in demand. She's always knitting something for someone. You have to kind of get in the queue quite early, so it might be a while.
So we're up to date.
Well, yesterday we made some cute little woodland elves, and we've made them before. We made them last Christmas. We had a PDF pattern available last Christmas, and then we just decided to give them a bit of a woodland twist, inspired by our Western birch. So we used green felt and neutral linen and white fur and an olive green suede.
And then you pimped yours up.
I did. I gave him a little disco glitter headband and a glitter ball for his hat. So, but it was really nice to be able to do something fun together and make something cute.
Yes.
And the funny thing was the way Maisie was eyeing them up. And I actually bought, if you saw our Bath Christmas market on day 5, I bought Maisie's Christmas present, and it is a little gnome, but it is a toy that she can have.
Yes.
And she was looking at these ones yesterday, like, am I allowed those? And I thought she's going to be so confused when she's given one and told, yes, you can chew this one, maul this one, don't touch those ones.
Oh, that's my husband just arrived home. Hello. We're just filming. It'll be 2 minutes, all right? Let me just shut the door.
Ooh. But anyway, that brings us up to date.
Yes,
so that's it. That's our 22 days of Vlogmas so far. We've got the last 2 days, Christmas Eve and Christmas Eve, and it's all very, very exciting.
And then we're done.
And then we're done, So I've got a present to open.
It's a little one.
I love little ones. Is it a Rubik's Cube?
Yes, it's a tiny Rubik's Cube.
Okay, excellent. I love those.
Because I know how that will keep
it looks like it matches the last one. Have a look. What have we got here? Oh, it's the iFix version of the last one, moisturising for dark circles. Yes. You know, I can't leave the house without concealer on my under eyes.
Yes,
and,
so hopefully that will help as well.
Yes, absolutely. Which worldwide patented technology, which from the bell pepper. How interesting! Which works to improve the appearance of dark circles. So if you come over and you find me with like a pepper, half a pepper under each eye,
half green, half red, just to see which one works best.
And then there's ginger, which is a powerful root-derived antioxidant that promotes smoother, healthier looking skin, and ginseng, which has visible anti-aging virtues. Excellent. That is brilliant. Thank you, darling.
Yeah, you're very welcome.
I'm going to have all these fancy products, and you're going to have to keep reordering them for me.
I am. It's fine. I will. They're not that expensive.
Yeah.
Beauty Pie is pretty good. There is another one I'd recommend for you as well. But,
okay.
Which is kind of it's a weird. It looks like water, but it's like water with a little bit of oil in it, and I don't know what's in it.
Yeah.
But it basically is like an exfoliant. So it comes in a little pipette.
Okay.
And you just rub it on your skin, and you do it before you put moisturisers and stuff on,
Okay.
night and day. And I have noticed a huge amount of difference with the texture of my skin. It's much
that's
finer.
interesting. Yeah.
So next time I'm ordering, if I've got
I'd
some
imagine
extra,
that would be good for closing pores as well, or reducing pores.
it just, you feel like you're not putting anything on your skin. It's really weird. But then the minute you put it on, you think, oh, I can really feel it. And it's really, because I get really sort of dry patches.
I get a very dry forehead this time of year. And actually, I have to say, the stuff you bought me a couple of days ago has worked wonders for that.
Excellent.
Because normally I put my moisturiser on and you know, it would feel nice, but by now it would be dry again. But I just felt it now, and it's still smooth as a baby's bum.
The thing is that I think as you get older, you definitely need to spend a little bit more money, and these are not expensive products at all, because we didn't want to spend a lot of money on each other. But I think just trying to find the right products for your skin, things that actually work, is definitely.
Although
worth
we should
it.
say Nikki is not affiliated with Beauty Pie. We do not get paid for saying nice things about them. She's just a big fan.
I've just
she's
recently
converting
done
me.
it, and I'm converting her. But when you find something that works, I want to share it with people. So
absolutely.
So
anyway, that's it. We hope you don't mind this ridiculously long chat and load of waffle.
Yes.
We did warn you at the start, so you know.
Come back in 3 sessions to finish it if you need to.
Yes, exactly. And feel free I was going to say feel free to skip ahead, but if you've got this far, then
this is the end.
It's a bit late for that now. So we will see you tomorrow. When we have got some festivities planning, because we're actually going to make some cocktails with you guys. So we're going to show you a couple of our favourite cocktail recipes, a non-alcoholic one and a boozy one.
Yes.
So join us for that.
Yes.
And then it will be Christmas Eve.
We'll see you then. Have a great evening. Bye.